While less present in the world of motorsports today, homologation requirements have provided car enthusiasts with some of the best options to make themselves feel like they're sitting in a race car themselves. Whether it's a different body style, a new engine, or an entirely new car, there's no mistaking some of these rare finds as important parts of racing history. Chevrolet Camaro ZL1. What do you do when you want to go fast? You find every way possible. That is exactly what Fred Gibb did. Using the Coupe program, he was able to fit the all-aluminum 427 cubic inch V8 ZL1 engine into 50 Camaros just in time for the 1961 NHRA season. Only 5 exterior paint colors were offered, and they chose 10 of each. All Chevy big blocks were painted orange, but the ZL1 was left bare to show every bit of that all-aluminum glory. Ford RS 200. If there's a motorsport that's furthest away from drag racing, it might be rally. Ford's entry into the famed Group B class was the RS 200. Ford produced the 200 units needed to take it racing, but unfortunately, the RS 200 became obsolete after just one full season. The Group B class was abolished after a series of deadly crashes during the 1986 season, which means it was the only season for the car in its intended class. Renault 5 Turbo. Another rally car that required homologation comes next in the form of the Renault R5 Turbo. Just under 2,000 were produced in a 6-year production span. At the time of its launch, the R5 was the most powerful French production car on the market. While a common Renault 5 would normally have a front-mounted engine with front-wheel drive, the Turbo slid that engine back behind the driver and delivered the power to the rear wheels. Subaru 22B STI. For our last stop in the rally spectrum of homologation, we turn to the Subaru 22B STI. Subaru is a name synonymous with rally racing. While the 22B isn't technically a car produced due to homologation requirements, only around 425 were produced, in part to celebrate Subaru winning its 3rd World Rally Championship. And anytime you want to take a WRX and make it faster, I am all for it. Plymouth Superbird, Dodge Charger Daytona. Back in the States for the next pair on our list. You just had to know that you would see this pair at some point, right? Here they are. The massive rear wings are about as iconic as a glass bottle of Coca-Cola. Dodge came first in 1969 with the Charger Daytona, and Plymouth followed the next year with the Superbird. Buddy Baker became the first NASCAR driver to break the 200-mile-an-hour mark in his Dodge Daytona. In total, Dodge produced around 500 Daytona versions, and Plymouth about 2,000 Superbirds. Chevrolet Monte Carlo Aero Coupe, Pontiac Grand Prix 2+2. Staying in NASCAR and staying as a tandem, we have the Monte Carlo Aero Coupe and the Grand Prix 2+2. With Ford winning more on Sundays and GM reluctant to redesign the G-body, Chevrolet and Pontiac stuck their heads together and essentially tried to turn the two into hatchbacks. Let's be honest, this wasn't a move towards looks. Dale Earnhardt did win the 1986 and 87 championships in a Monte Carlo Aero though. Still, only 6,500 Montes made it off the production line, and Pontiac chipped in about 1,200 2+2s. Ford Mustang Boss 429. What happens when a manufacturer has the car but not the engine? Answer here is the Boss 429. Chrysler was using their 426 Hemi engine to go NASCAR racing, and Ford wanted to compete with that. So they decided to stick their 429 semi-hemispherical engine into the Torinos. NASCAR says they need to fit 500 cars with that power plant, so Ford stuck them in Mustangs. About 1,350 Mustangs actually. It's said that the 429 V8 could rev at 9,000 RPM beautifully, but those fun haters at the insurance game decided it should be limited to about 6,200. Same thing with the top speed. Rumors suggest that the Mustang could be propelled as fast as 175 miles per hour, which is about 57 miles per hour faster than the limiter allows. BMW M1. You see, kids, when a BMW and a Lamborghini love each other, and then one of the companies backs out, well, that's where M1s come from. They didn't come very quick though. In fact, delays meant that the regulations for Group 5 had changed before the M1 was ready to give it a go. BMW started working towards a Group 4 car while they tried to pump out the required 400 roadworthy versions. Not wanting to wait though, BMW decided to go racing against itself. Leaders in BMW's motorsport division were able to start a one-make series and ran it as a support race during European F1 events. The series lasted only 2 years, which is about how long it took BMW to produce the required M1 road cars. So naturally, BMW ended its plans for the M1 to race in Group 5 and transitioned their focus to F1 instead. Chevrolet Camaro Z28. Introduced in 1966, the Z28 badge was the brainchild of Vince Piggins. Piggins wanted to offer cars that are virtually race-ready from any Chevrolet dealer. The 302 cubic inch small block was designed for Trans Am racing. 602 Z28 Camaros were produced in year 1, with plenty more to follow in the years to come. Chevrolet actually underrated the horsepower at 290. This meant the power would be less than 1 per cubic inch. Chevy used racing classification for this, as well as making those insurance guys happy again. Ford Mustang Boss 302. And finally the yin to the Z28 yang, the pony car competitor, the Ford Mustang Boss 302. Larry Shinoda stepped in at the final hour and saved what was originally dubbed the SR2. Larry swapped cladding and chrome on the SR2 and designed what we know today as the 302 Boss. The entire project revolved around homologation for the SCCA Trans Am series, just like the Camaro. 1969 saw around 1,600 302s roll off the production line and into people's driveways. 70 saw about 7,000 more onto roadways. But then the 302 nameplate wouldn't be seen again until Ford revived it in 2012. And there's our list. Did we miss any? Which side of the pony car war do you sit on? Let us know in the comments below. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up and please consider subscribing. Finally, be sure to check out the Retro Hobby website to find your next model. Maybe a 1970 Boss 302 or a 1969 Camaro Z28. Links in the description below. Thank you for watching. See you next time.